That's close enough.
Mass Effect 2 is a game that feels more intimate in the sense that because it's focused on your characters, you're doing a lot of intimate interactions with people.
We've amped up the intensity and the moment-to-moment tactics, the way you get to deploy your squad on the battlefield, the way that tech powers and biotic powers and weapons and ammo all intersect and interact.
You just sort of flow from one mechanic to the other, and you really feel like you've got a more integrated experience that doesn't require you to sort of shift focus kind of radically.
That mech's got heavy armor plating. Those Quarians never stood a chance.
This is gonna be one tough son of a bitch to take down.
There's an intelligence and a logic to the world. It feels thought out. It doesn't feel like they're just making shit up as they go along.
We've put a lot of effort in making sure that the world feels alive. So, I mean, you walk into a room, you're gonna see people having a conversation. They're gonna be over, chopping up monkey parts at the butcher's.
All of these things create this world that starts to live and breathe and has some weight and has some credibility. And suddenly, you're not just playing a game, you're in that world.
It really shows sort of the thoughtfulness behind the development of the game and that real sense of this is my own personal story. I'm not going to have an experience like anyone else who's playing the game.
It personalizes it for people. They get more involved, more investment in what's happening around them.
The technology has come so far that we can replicate a human in a video game.
You're playing seemingly actual human beings that carry emotions, have thoughts, have personalities and different character traits.
The conveyance of emotion and the conveyance of actual thought versus what a character is saying via facial expression is pretty incredible.
The key to acting is in the eyes. They went to great lengths to actually articulate and differentiate people's eyes.
We had a eye strike team that spent months on just the eye noise. So shaders, lights, rim lights, getting depth in the pupils because you end up looking at them and if eyes are wrong, everything else will feel wrong.
I just want to give your story its due.
What, so you can try to do another smear job on me? I wish I'd done that the first time we met.
We have a dialogue system that allows you to just constantly make choices as though you're having a natural conversation with somebody. So you end up having a conversation at real-time speed.
It's this circle at the bottom of the screen, and it comes up and it gives you all these options of how you can respond in given situations.
The top answers are the nice ones, and the farther you go down is the more mean you get.
I feel like you do have more variety. It's not just be nice, or be neutral. I feel like there are other shades of gray in there.
There's a lot of times that you'll get some dialogue options that are just hilarious, and you kind of just want to pick those just to see what happens.
Stand still.
Try it and you'll be scanning the inside of your colon.
I'd almost pay to see that.
And when you click the joke, you kind of feel like you made the joke, and it's one of those.
And yes, you feel like you're the comedian, which is really hard to pull off to make the player feel like they're funny.
It ends up being, I think, a surprisingly true-to-life experience where you're talking to people, but you know that something that you do or say will eventually have repercussions that don't get forgotten by the world that you're playing in.
We want to have choices with consequences. And we want to see those choices unfold in a variety of ways. They're going to impact the moment-to-moment, the tactical things, the way combat unfolds, the way that a character reacts to you, the way that they look at you. The small details matter.
Sometimes it's like, well, I'm going to make a decision, and if I fail to act, that decision passes you by. And you have to live with the consequences of not making that decision.
Beyond that, we want to have choices with consequences on the people that you travel through the galaxy with, the companions. They're the mirror of your actions, the lens through which you see the world.
The decisions you make choose what kind of future or fate that they have on top of what you have.
There's times when you have disagreements between your team, so you actually have to sometimes pick sides.
So you can actually damage your relationship with your henchmen, and that can have very dire consequences.
Don't want me on team? Don't bring me. Can stay here, work on collector research. But no apologies. Did what was right. Hope you do the same if necessary.
I think players are going to be shocked at how different their play experiences are going to be compared to their friends, based on the choices and the consequences of those choices.
The things you say and the little things that you do may come back later and have bigger consequences than you might realize.
If you've been a certain way throughout the course of the game, we're not going to forget about it in the last 45 minutes. So this time the game is going to remember, and you're going to get the ending that you deserve.
It's like real life. You know, you do something bad, you have bad karma.
Those decisions that are a butterfly flapping its wings that are going to eventually turn into a hurricane in the 5th act of the game is just, where's that hurricane going to go, and am I going to be killed by it?
Death is a really important theme of Mass Effect 2. You start the game dead, and you can finish the game dead. And that shocked a lot of people.
Everyone can die, including Commander Shepard. And it all comes down to the decisions you make and the way you've played the game up to that moment.
We wouldn't be serious about a suicide mission if you, as the player character, couldn't die in the end of the story.
When a character in a video game who you have grown really attached to for one reason or another dies, it says to the player, this is not a safe world.
That's an emotional tug of war with you too. It's these characters you get to know and what happens to them really beats you up over this game.
Find peace in the embrace of the goddess.
There's not this happy ending where everything's just like, you know, Bambi and birds, and it can really end really, really poorly for you.
We're unique in that we give you as many tools as we can to let you explore it in as different ways as you can.
That's what defines the games, is that it's you making the choices. It's not watching what a director did. It's about what you're doing to create your own personal experience.
And I think this is how you get there, is by being able to control the dialogue, the action, and the real decisions that you're making.
Very well, Shepard. The controls are online. The switch and consequences are yours.
And I can understand how so many people are addicted to this type of entertainment.
This is a video game? This is crazy.